I turned 40 this year, and I can feel it.
God, it's too heavy.
This is a story about how life is finally catching up with me at the ripe old age of 40. That's a lady's hat. You see, in my 20s and 30s, I was invincible. I've hiked thousands of miles all over the world, and with the small exception of altitude sickness in Nepal, I've never skipped a beat. Fit and able to hike, explore, and most importantly, photograph in the mountains. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. Welcome to a new hat. And welcome to the Tour du Mont Blanc in France. Oh, this is gonna be a good few days, I promise you. At this point, I was feeling optimistic. I was feeling like I was in my 30s. But as it happens, this was not gonna be a good few days. This was actually gonna be a harsh dose of reality.
How are you feeling, Tom?
More tired than I thought I would. We've only done 2.7 miles.
And we have, well, somewhere there as well to do.
Yeah. Nah, we're good. I'll take 5 minutes here.
Yeah.
So if you're new to the channel, I'm no stranger to long distance hiking, mountainous terrain, heavy bags full of camera gear, because that's what I do on the channel. Hiking, camping, landscape photography. Now, I've never been fazed by physical activity. If I'm going on a multi-day hike with a heavy bag, it doesn't bother me. I don't train for it, I don't prepare for it. I just wake up and go. But after this trip, I honestly think those days are over. All right, we have made it to Camp Chalet de Miage. We're not staying in the chalet, we're just camping. It's free camping around the chalet. And it's just gorgeous, man. I'll just spin you around. Here's my tent. That is what we walked down. It was absolutely killer. I've found it really, really tough today. But here's the thing. I'm not doing the full Tour de Mont Blanc. Fortunately, me and Jonas, we don't have time. We're just doing half of it. So we're going to finish off in Italy. 3 nights, 3 camps. And we've kind of strategically planned each camp so that it is in as scenic a spot as possible. So I think after, it's so hot, by the way, even now it's about 30 degrees. So I think the plan is to go and cool off in the glacial river. And then you see all this behind us here? That is going to be the spot for photography. It looks like there could be some potential, and we'll see what the light does towards sunset. But for now, we need to soothe our aching muscles with a freezing cold glacial dip. Oh, that's nice. I wasn't joking when I said I needed to soothe my aching muscles. There is nothing like cooling off in a glacial river after a long hike. The view is just, wow. I mean, it's just outstanding, isn't it? And this is where the problems actually began, because usually when I set up camp, I would have lots of energy left over to enjoy photography. But on this day, I was feeling tired, I was aching, I was physically drained, and I found it incredibly difficult to motivate myself to go searching for those landscape photography compositions. In other words, I was tired and uninspired. That could be a t-shirt, couldn't it? Oh, I am looking forward to this, but I don't know if you can tell just over my shoulder. It is absolutely, it's thundering, and if you look in the distance, it is raining up there. And if that rain comes this way, man, that's not good. I don't want to eat this in my tent. I want to enjoy being outside. Ah, look at this. The rain never really got going. So the rain has stopped, which is great because we can get out with our cameras, but unfortunately, the rain seems to have killed off the light. Now we have very milky skies and flat light, and we are walking up the river, kind of hoping to explore and find some compositions, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not feeling optimistic. It's a classic example of when you can be in a place and it's just beautiful, it's breathtaking, but that doesn't mean it's photogenic. It doesn't mean that you can make a great photograph. Like, a great view doesn't make a great photograph, and seems that's what we have a case of here.
Whilst there is a lot of truth in this, it's undeniable that a couple of years ago I would have been running around this entire valley camera in hand, desperately trying to seek out those compositions. But in this case, the enthusiasm just wasn't there. All I could think about was going back to my tent, lying down and having a good night's sleep. And I kept telling myself that a good night's rest and I would feel better tomorrow. But honestly, things went downhill from here.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's breakfast time.
So after a good night's sleep, some breakfast and a fresh coffee, I'll be honest with you, I was feeling good. I was refreshed and ready to hit the trail. And more importantly, I was ready to do some photography because up until this point, I hadn't taken a single photograph. And that is very concerning when you're on a photography trip.
Man, I am so out of practice. We are currently at about 1,700 meters and we're going to ascend to about 2,700 before dropping down to 2,500 at what should be a beautiful camping spot. So I'm really looking forward to this. Last night's was lovely, but it didn't work out how we'd hoped. This one, I'm feeling much more confident about if we can get there. That's the only question mark I've got at the minute.
So here's the thing with how I'm feeling. When you're physically tired, you can put up with it. You can just keep walking. You put one foot in front of the other and you continue. But this is supposed to be a photography trip. And the thing with photography is you can't do it if your head is not in the correct space. Like, you can't force creativity. You have to be enthused, you have to be open-minded, and you have to be inspired. But when you're feeling physical exhaustion and all you want to do is sit down, lean back and relax, it's almost impossible to find the drive to get out there and create good images. It's like trying to eat a Sunday roast after you've just had burger and chips. You just don't want it.
I'm not as fit as I used to be. And I'm feeling it every single step of the way. God. I turned 40 this year.
All right, so this way, the official Tour de Mont Blanc continues. There's a lovely, lovely looking chalet down there. But that's not where we're going. Nope. This madman in front of us here, Jonas, has decided we have to hike an extra several kilometers with an extra several hundred meters of gain, all just to go down several hundred meters, but should bring us to a lovely, lovely alpine lake with all of these mountains you can see there behind me. That should be our viewpoint from the lake. We're gonna camp next to the lake. We're gonna cook dinner, we're gonna take photographs. I just wish I had a jetpack on. I'm feeling, do you know, have I mentioned it in this video? I don't think I've mentioned it, that I'm feeling it. Feeling my age, feeling unfit, feeling the weight of this pack. But it is rewarding, man. It is rewarding.
They say that as you get older, the first thing to go will be your knees. And I've always been of the mindset of, well, this will never happen to me. Well, today I was proven wrong.
So it's been a painful decline, several hundred meters down, maybe not several, maybe 200 meters down. But we have a visual on our camp spot. Sorry guys, quick update. We have decided not to go down to the lake for several reasons. One's actually already somebody camping down there, but that is really the least of our reasons. Two, we have running water up here. We have a beautiful meadow to camp in, just here. Gorgeous, gorgeous views. The same views, obviously no lake. But most importantly, my IT band, which is a ligament that goes down the side of my left knee, seems to be inflamed. I seem to have aggravated it, so I'm fine going uphill, but going downhill seems to be causing me a lot of grief. And the lake is about 100 meters down, and I'm not too concerned about this evening, but I'm worried about tomorrow because we are quite remote here. There's no way of getting out of here without legs, basically. So I'm gonna save the stress on my knee. There's even some snow nearby which I can pack onto my knee and cool it down and rest. So this is us. Oh, right, while we set up camp, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, which is MPB.
The pain in my knee was so severe that I couldn't even complete my sponsorship.
Oh, now MPB is a place where you can buy, sell, and trade your used camera gear. So, if you want to buy a new camera, oh dear, just my knee.
Now this might not seem like a big deal, but the pain in my knee was actually preventing me from working. I couldn't do my sponsorships. Photography was the last thing on my mind, and this was really starting to bring me down.
So if you've got some old gear sitting around on your shelf, some lenses or camera bodies, it's really easy to sell them on MPB. You just go onto their website, you put in your gear, like whatever it is, and the condition that it's in, and then they will send you a quote. If you're happy with that quote, you accept it, and then they will send you a shipping label, staff free, and the money will be in your bank before you know it. Gosh, this tent is wet. And as well as being able to sell them your old gear, you can also buy gear from them. So if you want to buy a used camera, they've got a huge selection on their website, and there's a lot to choose from. So you'll save a ton of money by doing that instead of buying brand new. Alternatively, you can just do a straight up trade. So if you fancy giving that a go, whilst I really struggle to get my tent up, there is a link in the description below which will take you to mpb.com. If you can use that link, I would massively appreciate it, because then they'll know that you came here through this video. Now, I am really struggling here to just pop this last thing in. There we go, come on. There we go, tent is up, camp is almost done. Food, photography, and relax and rest this knee. Oh, it's really painful. So we have got pasta on the Jetboil, and I've got ice on my knee. This is serious. Like, at its worst point, I could barely walk. I'm okay going uphill. It's downhills that just seem to I really struggle with. Of course, sugar, no, overboiling, Of course, we are pretty, flipping it, can't turn this off. We are pretty much at our highest point. So although we do have more uphill tomorrow, and the day after there's also a lot of downhill, so we're currently looking at options for me to get out of here if needs be. It's pretty bad at the minute, but some ibuprofen and some ice, which we got from a snow patch, and we might be okay. But yeah, it's really, it all hangs on tomorrow morning, I think. Yeah, not good though. Getting old, man, just like I say, just like I've been saying in this video. Getting old. He's stretching there. Jonas is just like stretching out completely. Look at that. I tell you what though, it's not a bad place to recover. Look at it, man. Beautiful. Well, it's been a painful end to the day, but there's always time for photography. I haven't had my pasta yet. That's just still sitting in the pot. But you can see we just started to lose the light on this peak. So we've come over for a shot. It's not as fancy as it would have been if we would have been camping down the lake, and I'm actually quite depressed and disappointed that my injury seems to be preventing us from getting the most out of our photography. But you can see there's a gorgeous view here, so we're just grabbing this shot on the Fuji X-T4. I brought with me the 55 kit lens, the 18 to 55 kit lens, and the 55 to 200. And at the minute, we're on the 18 to 55 at 55mm, just shooting this mountain. Got lovely soft colours, interesting textures with the glacier. Nice low soft light as we approach the end of the day. So yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful.
You'd think after a day of 13 plus miles with over 1,000 meters of elevation gain that I would be starving and wolfing this pasta down. But I'm not. I'm picking at it. I'm not hungry. I'm feeling anxious. I'm slightly depressed to be having knee problems. My ego is bruised because I'm not as fit as I thought I was. But most of all, I'm worried about how the heck I'm going to get out of here tomorrow, because as it stands right now, I can barely walk 20 feet. And the stupidest thing of all, I didn't book helicopter rescue insurance before coming on this trip. That is a mistake I'll never make again.
Well, good morning, everybody. Beautiful morning this morning. The sunlight just streaming through the clouds or just popping up. It's beautiful. Although my day is tainted with worry and anxiety because my knee was so bad yesterday. I've never experienced this before. To the point when we got here to camp last night, I could barely take one step further. Now, yesterday was a big day, but it still hurts this morning. And we have a 600-meter downhill to start the day. And it's downhills that seem to trigger this pain. Uphill, fine. I can walk uphill all day, but in order to get out of the mountains, I need to be going down. So where we are at the minute, there's nothing. There's no way of me, finding a road and getting out here. I basically have to walk out. And we figure from here to the next hut, whereby there's transport links, it's probably about 10, 12k, which isn't too bad, but a lot of down, up, down. And we need to get to that hut. That's our way out. That's our escape. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to continue after that. And of course, it makes photography difficult as well, because I'm not overly keen on running around with a camera. I'm not feeling overly inspired. I'm just concerned about my knee. Well, not my knee per se, but concerned about getting out of the mountains, basically. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. We are packed up and ready for what is going to be a mammoth walk today. And this is going to be so tough for me. I'm already in pain and haven't taken 2 steps, but let me show you, see if I can show you where we're going. So if I spin you around here, you can see we have to walk down this valley here, all the way down, which is 600 meters down. And ultimately, we're going to end up there on that col, and then it's going to be down the other side and a few more K down to the next hut, which is our escape. And we have to get there. I'm kind of hoping that, well, I know I'm going to be in pain, but I'm just hoping that pain levels off. Oh, right. I don't think I'll be filming much of this, but it's time to go.
I mean, look at that. That is no way for a young, fit, healthy man to be walking through the mountains. If you look, my left leg will not bend. The only way I can describe this pain was severe toothache in the knee. Now, as painful as it was to walk, I could walk, so I was grateful of that. Slowly but surely, I would make my way down the mountain.
Hey Tom, why don't you walk faster, man?
To my relief, I had made it down the steep valley, and my fears of being left stranded were not realised.
All right, Col de la Seine, 1 hour 55, and it is, well, it's up there somewhere. Very high and very far. Gosh, look at my hair. By the way, I'm changing my channel name. It's no longer Thomas Heaton. It is Hobble Hobble, apparently. Yeah, that's me. Right, now let's do this mammoth climb. Oh.
Now, as I began to climb out of the valley, my knee actually started to improve. The pain was still there, but it was nowhere near as crippling as it had been for the previous couple of hours.
All right, we started the day in France, all the way over there on the other side of the valley. It's been a long day. We've been hiking for, bear with me, we've been hiking for 4 hours and 49 minutes, but now we are in Italy. And I'm happy to report that the knee is feeling fantastic. So that could have gone bad, but it didn't. We're all right. Seems to have eased off now, which is a big concern gone. But man, look at this view. Absolutely glorious. Look at those peaks. Oh, yes. Italy is looking beautiful, which is more than I can say for me in this hat. But you know, this will be going in the bin when I get back to Chamonix.
Once we had reached Italy, the plan was to hike further into the mountains to a more remote spot for camping and photography. But because of the state of my knee, we thought it would be more sensible to just bail out and cut the hike short by one day. Although this was the correct decision, I can't deny that it's bruised my ego and I feel a little bit depressed because of it. This trip was supposed to be 3 days of hiking and photography, producing 2 YouTube videos and a plethora of beautiful images. What actually happened was this one cobbled together video, 1 photograph, and a sense that I'm getting old and my hiking days are behind me. But that's not going to be my story. Now, I'm not getting any younger, but that doesn't mean it's over for me. It just means I have to be more considerate going forward. For the pain and inflammation in my knee, while I'm working on small daily exercises to strengthen those smaller muscles around my knee. I'm eating better. Like, bad diet contributes so much to inflammation and general feeling of unwellness. So does living a sedentary lifestyle. Like, I was in America for about 3 weeks before this trip to the Alps, like immediately before. And I was in a car driving every day, doing 0 exercise and living for 3 weeks off gas station food. That's gotta have something to do with my bad time in the mountains. My time in the Alps really got me down. It made me think that I was old and past it, unfit, and it was downhill from here. But I don't think it is. In fact, unless you've been a professional athlete, you can always be fitter than you have been in the past. You can always be at your best. So that's encouraging. It just means I've got to work harder and be a lot more conscious about what I eat and the amount of exercise I do. Now, in terms of photography, this might not seem too relevant, but it truly is, because to really experience the best landscape photography, you've got to be energetic and you've got to be out there walking and exploring. And if you're unfit and you're in pain, you're not going to want to go out with the camera. It's as simple as that. So it's really important for my photography and my YouTube channel going forward that I really work on my physical fitness and hopefully never have a repeat of what happened in the Alps. It may have only seemed like a bad knee and overly dramatized in this video, but let me tell you this, it was excruciatingly painful at its worst, and I couldn't walk. For a period, I couldn't get up and walk. That's not good. That is not good. So let's see if this incident has sparked a journey of self-improvement. I genuinely think it has. If you want to help support the channel, give this video a like or subscribe if you're not already. And I have my landscape photography calendar, which is now available to pre-order. So if you want to support the channel and get a copy of that, there are links in the description below. All right, until next time, thanks for watching.